up, hardware? Welcome to your WOD Brief for Saturday, April 11th of 2020. Today we got all kinds of good stuff going on, but we are going to start off with some handstand work or some inversion practice. So we're going to get your wrists nice and warmed up because we've been doing a lot of push-ups, planks, stuff like that. And then we're going to get into a workout of lunges, L-sits, and some single arm dumbbell rows to make sure we keep our pulling in action here, okay? So let's walk through the warm-up. First of all, we're gonna start with a joint rotation warm-up. All you're gonna do is basically do about 10 circles or so of each joint. We wanna pay particular attention to the wrists right off the bat. Like I said, we've been kind of putting a beating on them lately. So 10 in one direction, 10 in the other direction, and then just follow all the way along down to your ankles. So after that, we'll go into some elbow circles, switching directions. We'll do shoulders. These shoulders can be with arms or without arms. Each direction. I like to add in a little bit of neck rolls, but you got to be careful with this one for a couple of reasons. I personally have a lot of sort of dizziness and vertigo, so I can't do too many of these. If you're like that, please take it easy with that, but also just take it easy on these very gentle muscles here, right? Then we'll go into some torso work. We'll go down to a little bit of bow and bend. We'll go into some hip circles, everybody's favorite. Magic Mike. It's so bad. I gotta find a way to mute these videos when I'm stretching. That's not good. We'll switch it up there, and then we'll get some knee circles going on. This one always feels funny, but these kind of joint rotations, one of the things that's great about these is they also improve sort of blood flow, and they encourage the fluid in the joints to sort of start clicking, right? Well, start stopping you from clicking. We'll go down to the ankles, do some ankle circles, little Elvis, and we'll take our time with that in class. But if you are on your own, just do at least 10 in each direction. It does take a little while, but I promise it's really good for your body, okay? Then we're gonna go into a little 3-round warm-up of 6 reverse lunges. That is the bulk of the workout today, so we want to get those ready. 10 seated leg lifts. This is meant to get you ready for potentially trying some L-sits or some tuck sits of some kind. And 10 arch ups, just because we hit a lot of the front side of our core yesterday, and so we want to counter that by working on the back side of the core today, okay? So the reverse lunge, we'll keep it very simple. You just want to take a good step back and bring this knee all the way down if you can, or as close as you can, keeping this shin relatively up and down. It can go forward a little bit. We just don't want it to get too pressed over in the forward direction. If you want to switch up the stimulus a little bit, you can try taking the biggest step that you can. That always gives me a little bit more hamstring action personally. So 6 reverse lunges. Then we'll do 10 seated leg lifts. All this really wants to be for now is a way for you to start to compress your core to lift your legs. So this can be, if you need to, you can sort of lean back a little bit. See, I'm using a little bit of momentum there, almost like a V-up. You can try to sit tall and lift your legs. Or the most advanced version, which is really, just feels nearly impossible, is to reach your body forwards. This is actually the compression that you need for an L-sit later on. So I'm gonna reach forward. I'm probably about the middle of my shin here. I'm gonna try to lift my legs 10 times, okay? After that, we'll roll it over for some arch ups. Little up, up for 10 reps. So we'll do that 3 times in the warm-up. That was reverse lunge into seated leg lift into arch up. Then we should be ready to practice some inversion. So I just want to give you a quick rundown on some ways that you can be inverted in your home safely. And we'll go sort of from the bottom to the top. First thing is, when we're looking for inversions, we're mainly looking to get your head through your arms, stack this up, we call that head through the window, and get your hips lined up with your shoulders. The hips, that's the harder part, right? So in this first version, all we'll do is just a little down dog, because this is a pretty good start. I've got my head upside down, my head is through the window. If you can kind of reach up onto your tiptoes a little bit to try to stack yourself even further. But if you're getting to that point, you might want to move up to the next version, which would be to get your knees or your feet propped up on something high. So for this one, I'll just use the arm of my couch. And what I'm going to do is start by just sort of getting a good grip on the floor here and crawling my feet back. And I'm going to try as close as I can to get my head through and my hips over my shoulders. If you have something over here, it's going to kind of drag your butt that way a little bit. That's okay. Just try to get as close as you can. You can also bend your knees because that will help take sort of hamstring stretch out of it if you've got tight hamstrings, okay? I also like to do what's called a 7 hold, which is that exact same thing, but using a wall. So it's almost like a wall walk, but I don't actually have to walk my hands, which is the scary part when you're upside down. I'm just gonna put my feet on the wall and then go head through the window. Right, trying to stack my hips, get my head through my arms. I can come down with nice control. You don't have to worry about actually picking up one arm while you're upside down, okay? From there, you might want to work on a wall walk if that's something you're looking for. Ideally, the wall walk, you're going to get yourself to a point where you can get your toes on the wall. I think because of this, I'll have to settle for one toe on the wall. Toes and putting your nose close to the wall. But you want, if you look at my feet and my nose here, which they're roughly the same length away from my spine, you would see that if you drew a line there, my torso would not be touching the wall. So oftentimes when we go upside down, we get this position, and now it's broken between my nose and toes, right? So you got to crunch to clear some space and try to make sure. That's the ultimate level of the facing the wall hold. Don't try that right away, but that's something you want to work up to. So let's see if I can get that going here in the home space. So I go up, carefully walking my way. Oh, there's the vent. Good, good. I'm going to leave this foot out just for fun so I don't scrape my toes. And I've got nose and toes. Now normally this right foot would be pointed like this one is, but I don't want to lose my balance, so I'm going to keep my toes. Then I'm going to very carefully, with lots of control, walk myself back down to the ground and hang out like this for a moment so I'm not dizzy. After that, you could potentially be working your way up to kicking up to the handstand hold on the wall as well. And if you've been in any classes with me, you know that my rule is that you must start with your hands on the ground. You cannot dive bomb, cartwheel into the wall. That goes tenfold when you're at home because who knows what you're going to knock down, okay? We're going to do 5 sets of practicing inversions. That is completely up to you. You can do it for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, whatever your level is. 5 sets. That's part 1 today. Part 2, this is a little simpler. All we're going to do is 6 rounds of 25 of those lunges. So if you decide to take this workout outside or if you have space, you can feel free to walk these lunges or go forwards and backwards, whatever you need. I know that in my little space here, I like to go reverse lunge. 25 alternating lunges, then 15-second L-sit. We'll come back to that in a moment. Then 10 of your single arm row on one arm, and then 10 on the other arm. So let's talk about those L-sits. Super tricky move, very, very hard move. Again, one of the first things you could do is just go from that seated leg lift position and see where you can put yourself to lift your legs for 15 seconds. That is a good challenge in and of itself. You can also reduce the difficulty by bending your knees. Tuck sit. The next thing you would want to try to do is get yourself propped up on something. For example, just grab 2 of our kitchen chairs here. Put it on a little angle like this. And you're just going to try to tuck your knees here and just pick up your feet just for a moment and down. That would be a great way to get used to doing the L-sit for 15 seconds. So all I'm looking to do here is just pull my knees up as much as I can, and then bring it down. Ideally, you'd want to bring them up even higher, but that gets really, really hard. Then, from there, you could work on extending your legs further and further. Extending your legs in gymnastics is the equivalent of putting more weight on the barbell. So you don't want to just jump right to full weight with your legs out. A lot of people always want to do that. Start in, and then very, very gradually, you want to make your way to a point where you can lengthen them. Oh, that's going to be hard. The ultimate expression of this one, especially at home, is going to be trying to do it without having so much clearance under your body, meaning from the floor. That is very difficult, especially if your arm length is not great in comparison to your torso length. But ideally, oh my gosh, here we go. I haven't done one of these in a while. Arms, crunch, press your shoulders away. That's where you're going to get that lift. Butt off the ground. And you're trying to accumulate 15 seconds. I don't think anything else is as challenging to accumulate 15 seconds as an L-sit from the floor. So there's a whole bunch of variations for you there, but the workout itself is just going to be 25 alternating lunges. If you have the wherewithal to remember, I would start each set with a different leg so that you end up even by the time you're done with your workout. 15 seconds of some kind of crunch hold, and then 10 pulls with the right, 10 pulls with the left. 6 rounds, 4 times. That's your last workout of the week. Hope you enjoy your weekend and have fun.